Welcome to Happy, Healthy, Whole, and Rich, where faith meets action and transformation is non-negotiable. I'm Tina Brinkley Potts, and I believe now is the time to step boldly into your power, walk in divine wisdom, and claim the life you were meant to live. Each episode, I'll bring you real, unfiltered truth, because this world needs leaders who refuse to shrink. Let's get it. Welcome to Happy, Healthy, Whole, and Rich. I'm Tina Brinkley Potts, and I know who I play for. Today, we are starting something, a 7-part series called Standing in Your Power. And I want to begin right here by telling you what this series is not about. It's not about pretending life is perfect, or that toxic positivity, or acting like hard things don't happen. It's not about being unbothered in a way that isn't real. This series is about something deeper than that, something more honest than that. And today, I want to start with the foundation, what standing in your power actually means, because most people have it wrong. Let's go to Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, not above some things, not when it's convenient, above all else. Now, I used to read that verse and think it was about protecting myself from other people, from their negativity, their intentions, their energy. But the older I get, the more I understand that the heart this verse is talking about isn't just something that receives. It's something that generates. Everything you do flows from it. Your decisions flow from it. Your relationships flow from it. Your business flows from it. Your responses to disappointment and betrayal, delay, and loss, all of it flows from what's living in your heart. So guarding your heart isn't just about keeping bad things out. It's about being intentional about what you're generating from the inside. Because what's inside you is always producing something. That's standing in your power. And it starts there, inside. I want to tell you about a conversation I had that I will never forget. I was working with a client, a brilliant woman. She had a big vision, real talent. And every single session, we would start making progress. And then somewhere in the middle of it, the conversation would shift. To her mother, to her ex, to the employer who passed her over, to the friend who betrayed her confidence, to the industry that didn't see her coming. And she could tell every one of those stories with precision, dates, details, exactly what was said and who said it. She had the receipts going back years. And I sat with her one day and I said something that I knew might land hard. I said, "You are the most articulate person about everything that has happened to you that I have ever met. And as long as all of that is true, none of it is ever going to change." She got quiet. I wasn't dismissing what she had been through. I want to be clear about that. The things that happened to her were very real. The pain was real. The people who let her down, they let her down. That part wasn't a story. But here's the part I wanted her to see. She had built an entire identity around being someone things happened to. And that identity, as painful as it was, had become comfortable. Because as long as someone else was responsible for where she was, she didn't have to be responsible for where she was going. That's a trap. And it is one of the most loving looking traps there is, because it always comes wrapped in truth. Something real did happen. Someone really did wrong you. The circumstance really was unfair. But you cannot stand in your power from inside that story. You just can't. Power is not absence of hard things. Power is what you do with your agency after the hard thing happens. When Solomon wrote, "Guard your heart, for everything flows from it," I believe he was warning us about exactly this. Because here's what happens when we don't guard our heart. We let the narrative of what happened to us move in and take up permanent residence. We water it. We tend it. We tell it to everyone who will listen until it becomes the lens through which we see everything new. A new opportunity looks like a setup from another disappointment. A new relationship looks like someone who will eventually leave. A new season looks like something that will probably be taken away. That is not discernment. That is a heart that hasn't been guarded. That is yesterday's pain writing today's story. Standing in your power begins with the decision to evict the narratives that are generating outcomes you don't want. Not to deny that they happened, but to stop letting them author your next chapter. Ernest Holmes taught that the subjective mind, what we might call the subconscious, has no ability to reject what you give it. It simply accepts and builds. It is, as he described it, an obedient servant that works with whatever material you hand it. So when you hand it a story about everything that has been done to you, it builds a life that matches that story. Not to punish you, not because you deserve it, but because that is the law. It produces what you plant. Neville Goddard said, "You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it." Let's read that again slowly. Your refusal to believe it is the only reason you don't see it. Not the person who hurt you. Not the system that was unfair or that the timing was off. Your belief. Your concept of yourself. That is the operating variable. Now, and I know that might feel like a lot of weight to carry, but I want you to flip it. Because if your belief is the variable, then your belief is also the lever. And the lever is not a burden. The lever is power. James Allen wrote in As a Man Thinketh, "Circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself." Whatever has happened to you is revealing something. The question standing in your power ask is, what do you want it to reveal from here? What do you want to be made visible about who you are and how you respond, how you rise, how you refuse to be defined by what tried to define you? That is the metaphysics of power. It was never about what happened to you. It was always about what you do with the creative authority you still have in this moment. I want you to get honest with yourself right now. Not harsh, not critical, just honest. Think about the area of your life where you feel the most stuck. The thing that hasn't moved the way you wanted it to. The situation that feels unresolved. Now ask yourself this first question. Who or what do I blame for this? Write it down. Don't filter it, just let it come out. The person, the circumstance, the system, the timing, get it all on paper. Now the second question. What has holding that story cost me? Not what they did. What holding on to it has cost you in time, in energy, in opportunities you might have missed while you were looking backward. Be specific. Third, what would I have to believe about myself to move forward from here without needing them to be different first? This is the real one, because standing in your power almost always requires that you stop waiting for someone else to change, apologize, or be held accountable before you give yourself permission to move. Fourth, what is one thing, just one, that is fully within my control right now? Not their behavior, not the economy, not what already happened. What is yours to do right now? And finally, if I operated as someone who was not defined by what happened to me, what would my next move be? Write that answer down and then consider making it your first move this week. Here's what I want to leave you with today. Standing in your power is not a destination. It is a daily decision. And it starts with the most courageous thing a human being can do, which is to look at your own life and say, I am responsible for what happens next. Not because everything was my fault, but because I refuse to outsource my future to my past. Something may have happened to you. Maybe a lot of things happened to you. I am not here to minimize any of it. But I am here to tell you that you were built for more than a life organized around what was done to you. You have creative authority. You have agency. You have the same power that Solomon was talking about when he said everything flows from your heart. Guard it. Tend it. Be intentional about what you are generating from the inside, because that is where your power lives. This is just the beginning. Over the next 6 episodes, we're going to go deeper into the tools, the phrases, the practices, and the identity work that makes standing in your power not just a concept, but a way of living. I'm glad you're here, and I know who I play for. Until the next time, be happy, be healthy, be whole, and most importantly, be rich in love, rich in peace, and rich in purpose. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, live it, and let's grow together. Head over to happyhealthywholerich.com for more powerful teachings and join the movement. Remember,